Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Black excellence, black beauty, and black pride. Black power from all diasporas coincide. Progressive truth and regression eventually collide. May the beauty of the people no longer be set aside. May the black queen's grace continually mesmerize the millions who couldn't see it when looking into her eyes. And the black man's plight no longer be the disguise. Oppression, emasculation, they wanna castricize him. Take him away from the black queen, put him inside prison for slave labor, he institutionalized. Wondering on the outside, is she willing to ride? Is she willing to ride? Is she willing to fight for the love, even despite the fact that he doing time? Love that conquers all will never fade with time. If she don't choose the love that appreciates every life, his flame might get dim in the marriage.
And we are live. Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. I feel like we should have those sound cues where it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Those sound cues. Yeah. All right, welcome back. So we are live from the studio in Windsor Heights. If you would like to book this space that we are in, you can call 515-996-0326. Again, you can call 515-996-0326. We are live right here at the studio, man. So what's going on, DeWanna and Brittany? What's happening, man?
What's up? Busy day today,
Yeah,
I know.
It feels like it's Sunday, but I was dragging in here. I come in here like, I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I said hi first. I said I'm tired.
It
was the first thing I said.
I'm definitely tired.
Yeah, I can't wait to lay down.
Y'all realize we've been doing this since January 1st, right? We've been doing this every Sunday since January 1st. So shout out to all of our sponsors. If you would like to sponsor one of our shows, please shoot us an email. DeWanna, what's the email?
The email is iaurbanmedia18@gmail.com. You can also send an email to urbanimpactshow1, the number 1, @gmail.com.
Yeah, if you would like to sponsor, so that goes to political candidates, small businesses, corporations. We have packages available for all. We know that our small businesses cannot do what some of our corporations can do, so we do have the small business package available for you if you would like to be featured right here on the Urban Impact Show. Thanks to DeWanna, Brittany, Luana, Lewis, Matt, Trey, Hal, and all of the rest of the team. Oh, Madison. In Madison, we have been able to surpass 50,000 views, and so we're super excited about that. That's a major accomplishment.
See, we need to cue the hand clap.
Yes,
I know that's where that would come
that.
up right there. Everyone be screaming. Yeah, that's where that comes in.
And then on YouTube, we were able to get to 20,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so we're growing.
Yes.
We're growing. We're making it happen. We're no longer just a small town video podcast. Stay tuned. We will be getting all of this stuff on like Spotify, Apple Music, and all of that stuff. And so we will be getting recordings of our show and stuff like that out there for you all who email me or message me, I should say, and say, hey, I want to listen to this while driving, but I can't watch it.
Yeah.
So,
No, we understand that. So we're gonna get there. We're growing, and I'm looking forward always to a new year because it means better things for us. But every year, every episode, I feel like we just do a little bit more. We're getting there. We're learning things, and so super excited to kind of see what the future holds for the Urban Impact Show.
Where are we?
No, we're good on time. We're going to take a break in just a moment. We are going to be talking about some hot topics today, so I guess I'll tell everyone what they can expect to see today. We're going to have a couple of hot topics discussions. There's been a lot going on here in the world, locally and nationally and across the world, that we're going to hear from our point of view, what we think about those things. We also are going to have Bridget Cravens-Neely with us. She is the CEO of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central Iowa. We will have Courageous Fire with us as well. She's going to talk about domestic violence. Next month is Domestic Violence Month, so we want to hear about the work that she's doing in our community and ways that you can get involved with that. So we got a full show today.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and
Yeah.
then we'll be right back with the Urban Impact Show. Do me a favor on this break, press the share button, because we definitely, without you sharing, then our content doesn't reach as many people as we would like it to. So please, go ahead on and press that share button, and let's continue to spread this content out. And if you're watching, put your name in the comments so we can shout you out. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. I hope you took a moment to share this while we were on break. Please, if you hadn't, please go ahead on and take that moment right now. We're going to jump into a couple of hot topics. Let's start out with Queen Elizabeth II dying. And I know people are probably going to think I'm insensitive about this, but it wasn't news for me because that doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah. Change things for us?
It doesn't, and honestly, like, they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're,
That's how I felt the exact same way.
England is ran by their parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, it would be, for me, it would be like, it's not like a ex-president who I know
Mm-hmm.
has passed away, right? Or a major leader in world affairs, right? Because, I mean, I know she's done things in the past, but, the history under her reign, it still wasn't that positive. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you look at Harry and Meghan's, that 12-minute clip that came out, and how Harry was like, how do I change this system that I'm living in, when Meghan told him that she wanted to kill herself, and then they had to get dressed and go to an event 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
And there was nothing they could do about it.
Yeah.
Right? I was just like, okay. Then I saw somebody commented, and when they said, hey, the Queen is dead, what? And the young lady said, okay.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, somebody said, "Oh my God, Queen Latifah."
They said Beyonce.
Listen,
A lot of people. I feel like there's been more memes than really like. I mean, it's sad when anyone dies, but like Rob said, it's like that doesn't directly affect the U.S. Like I can't like really name any notable things that she's done, and I just feel like it's more so because of the celebrity that this is a big deal.
So when the Queen died, my daughter wrote me and said, Mom, are you okay? Because let me tell you.
She thought it was Mary J?
No. Oh. She knew who it was. I have a huge fascination. I have a huge fascination.
With monarchy?
Yes, with her
okay.
story. So I I'm a big like.
You watch the Netflix
history.
show?
I watch the show. Now I cannot.
You know what? This
watch.
is actually pretty dope because to have a dissenting opinion on this show is actually pretty dope.
No, I'm gonna tell you. So I watched The Crown.
Mm-hmm.
I am having a hard time watching The Crown in the Diana era. Like that's going to be really hard for me to watch. I have a huge fascination with the Queen. So my daughter was like, Mom, I don't know if you've heard, but the Queen died. And I was like, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. But it's more so I can look past some of this historical context stuff, and I know the monarch wasn't great, and you know the UK has their system, but what I can appreciate is her story. Like to be put in this position.
Us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so let me just tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so just so you know, what was really supposed to happen with the Queen of England was she should have never been on track to be queen. It was her father's, what would be her uncle, was supposed to be on the throne, and he said absolutely not. So he didn't do anything about that. Now we're live, I know, but there's a knock at the door, Trey. So if somebody can get that, let's take a quick break so we can let our guests in. I'm gonna give you a little bit more information about the Queen when we come right back.
Yeah.
Oh. Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. I am your host, Brittany Dudley. So let's continue the conversation on Duana's perspective about the Queen dying.
Yeah, let me tell you about the Queen. So really, I'm more fascinated with her story. I get all the memes and everyone saying like, why does it matter? But her story is so interesting because technically she should have never been queen. You know, it was her uncle who had decided that he was not going to take the throne. So her father ended up being the one who ended up being on the throne. So like at a very early age, she was kind of indoctrinated into this kind of what she needed to be able to do. And so, you know, as I watched the story, you know, and just seeing that she was preparing for something that she really was not supposed to be a part of. Her father wasn't supposed to really be a part of. He was an okay, decent king, but you know, really the eyes were on her. So when he passed away, it was her time. Like she was young. I think she became queen like early 20s, 25, maybe around in there. But it was her sister who really wanted to be the queen. And in one episode, they look at her directly and say, like, basically told her, stop talking about it. This is not for you. This is for her. And so it shows her whole life about how really she wanted to be this normal person. So I think of some of the things we've seen with like Prince Harry and Meghan.
How did she become queen?
Because there were no she didn't have a brother. She was the oldest. So yeah, so basically if she would have had an older brother, it would have went to him because she was the oldest. They knew that all they had was daughters.
The brother was older or younger, it would have went to the boy.
It goes in order, I believe, by your birth. So she was so if she would have had a brother that was born before her, he would have been the king. But because there were no boys in their family, it was just the sisters, and she was the oldest, she was the one who got to become queen.
Just quickly have a question. So her son is the king now. What's Camilla?
She is the queen consort, which just means that's
His girlfriend. Well, so it's his wife
yeah.
now.
So Camilla's his
But
wife
they were
now, but
cheating when he was
honestly,
with-
she was the one he was cheating with
Princess
while he
Diana.
was with
Yeah.
Princess Diana. So she has always been in the picture. She's just been behind the scenes. So what the queen did was they made her.
So Princess Diana's sons
Yes.
are okay with this woman being around, even though they dissed
It's been
homegirl.
I mean, it's been years now, so it has been. It's been years.
what can they
but I mean,
do?
what are they
What
going
can
to
they
do?
do?
I mean, that's who their father chose. You know, he. That's the way that it
It
went.
just looks messy publicly
All I
because
got
it's
to say
like the side
is-
chick became the queen. It's what me.
No,
I've seen.
and
I've
there
seen
was
that
stories about that on Facebook about like all you side chicks have a
Yeah,
you're
chance.
gonna get somewhere now because you could become the queen someday. That's exactly
all I
what
got to
happened.
say is the North remembers.
I'm telling you.
And Ned Stark ain't too happy about what just
This
took
is the
place.
thing.
He was
Side
an
chick to
honor.
queen. Never stop dreaming.
He was Ned Stark was an honorable man who had his head chopped off of some nonsense. And this here is some nonsense.
No, but I'm telling you, so that's what happened. So the queen ended up giving Camilla the title of queen consort, which just basically means because she's married to him, she doesn't get to do all of the
That's
things
what
that
I
a
heard.
queen would do.
I heard that she like did not want her to have
No,
this, so
she
made
can go
some
do
type
the
of-
ribbon cuttings and say the hellos and the greetings, but the decision making pieces of things will be with King Charles.
So the king, so I mean, let's just be honest here. He ain't gonna be king long.
Oh, that's what I was
Give
like.
him a good 20 years
I
or
give him
plus
5.
years. I give him that.
old.
But
I
he's,
give him 5.
He's 70, but remember, they're
I-
gonna treat him like they treat our president. I mean, like they're gonna
I
take
give
care
him
of
5.
him.
I give him
I give
5.
him about 10 to 15.
And then
okay?
it's the oldest son that gets this.
So it will be
Prince
William is next in line, and then it goes. His kids are next in line. So Harry's like number 5.
And it's his daughter. I mean, it's his son.
It's his son.
'Cause his son is older.
Yep. And so it's son, and then his
You
kids.
know how
Yeah.
Stuff works. Watch Game of Thrones. Game of
That's the
Thrones,
real-
Game of Thrones will show you
Look.
if a man dies, it goes to his child, and if there is no child, it goes to the brother who is the rightful heir to the throne, just like Robert Baratheon, his brother, and all of this other stuff. It's a whole bunch.
It is a bunch,
Game of
but
Thrones.
I want to highly encourage y'all to watch The Crown. So for me, it was her story. Okay, I'm just gonna bring that back after
might
all that
watch
you
it.
said.
Game of Thrones?
I might watch it.
No,
Watch Game of Thrones. You may enjoy it if you like this king queen thing so much.
Okay, then maybe I will watch it. I do like the whole king queen thing. I just like
for real.
her story.
Yeah.
Her story's
And
amazing.
another one you should watch is Vikings.
Okay.
With
Someone
Utrecht.
did tell me that.
Utrecht.
They told me to watch that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna watch The Crown.
But I think you should. So yeah, we can stop on the queen. But like, I was a person that when I found out she died, it was like, what, the queen? So yeah, I was a little
We may
devastated.
have to hold Piper Lewis' story for an entire.
Yeah.
I think we
episode
will because we have a lot to dissect with that.
Because in order for us to really dig into that, for how that really affects us,
Mm-hmm.
we're really. And I made a comment the other day about judges who are on the ballot for
Mm-hmm.
November. I really want. So there's a lot that needs to go into that. So we're gonna hold talking about Piper Lewis, but and Luana Nelson Brown is working on getting Piper on the show. And so we're working on getting her on the show as well. That would be pretty dope to get her on.
That would be good.
And then what else happened before we bring on our guests?
So let's talk a little bit about The Little Mermaid. Because people are having this big discussion. I believe is it Holly? Holly, is that her name?
Haley.
Haley is Little Mermaid.
For some reason, I kept thinking people was talking about Halle Berry.
Now
I kept saying Halle Berry, Halle Berry.
Now you know.
I kept
She is
saying,
way too old.
I said, wait a minute.
Rob.
Who in the hell made Halle Berry Little Mermaid?
Like he's showing his age
I
now.
said, what are we doing?
Who wrote this?
How did we get here?
Oh my
Halle
goodness.
Berry, Halle Berry.
No, that is not who we're talking about.
I will say though, the blind reactions to that people are posting on Twitter and TikTok are pretty dope to see our little black babies. Oh my! They're like, one girl was like, "Oh my God, Mom, she looks like me."
Aw.
Right, and just the historical context before we run out of time. From 1970 until now, 50 years, there had never been a black Disney princess except for Tiara and the Frog.
Oh,
right?
I thought it was
Tiana.
Tiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that just came out in 2012.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? 2012, they had this black girl as a princess. And so for 50 years, Disney, black girls had not seen themselves on Disney in a major role like this. Now, there were people there in support cast, but in a major role like this, that there were no representation of our little black girls.
And I think as a millennial,
Shout out to us.
yes, we had Brandy as Cinderella, and
Yeah.
you know, and Whitney.
Not on Disney, though.
No. Not. I'm
No,
saying
not
like
on Disney.
no. I'm not saying on Disney.
No,
I'm saying
but,
in
yeah.
our generation, you know, we seen like that was amazing for me to see Cinderella as
Right.
Brandy, and then Fairy Godmother.
Wasn't
Whitney
that like a
Houston.
BET movie?
Yeah, but it's still. I feel like it still gave
It
us.
was good. Stop, Rob.
It still gave us
Say it don't count.
a black.
Are you saying it don't matter
I'm
then?
not saying it don't matter. I'm just saying it was a BET.
But it was a big deal. I feel like it was a big deal.
It's a BET.
It was a big deal for me for
Like the
Brandy to be
Gremlins.
Cinderella.
Brittany, keep talking. Let's just keep going. Yes, I don't get what you're saying.
And I'm not trying to take away from the Little Mermaid because I think it's amazing. But I'm saying, as millennials, we had Brandy as Cinderella. So I think that this is a huge step.
Yeah.
You know, all the dissing that they're giving her to me is just like, it's. I don't know if it's just because it's. We didn't have social media back then, you know, so we didn't really know. Like, but it's ridiculous.
Can we also count the Michael Jackson video?
Oh my God.
You know what? I'm not even talking to you anymore. I'm not looking at you anymore.
Can we trade him for Bridget?
I know. Yeah, we need to trade you for Bridget very quickly because I really can't do this. I'm with you. I don't know what the big deal is about all of this. I mean, we should be able to be whatever we want to be. That's what we say here. We can achieve whatever we want to achieve.
Why
it doesn't
are we
matter.
still here? Why are we still here?
Yeah, in the first Mermaid, Little Mermaid was animated anyway. So you know we're talking about real live something, and who cares if it happens to be an African American young
And I hope
lady?
that it
Waiting on
doesn't-
a black lion for Simba.
See when he says stuff we don't even have anything.
I just feel bad for Haley because I feel like they're taking away. Like if it was a white mermaid,
Of
like
course.
y'all would be building her
it wouldn't
up.
even be this
Yeah.
conversation about it.
It's like she's so talented,
Right.
And she earned it. Y'all didn't give her nothing. She earned it.
Yep.
And so for it to be, I think she got like 1 million dislikes.
Yeah.
Like,
1.5.
that's- Yeah, like that's crazy.
No, it's
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
crazy.
And I just hope for her mental health, she's not letting this affect her.
Yeah.
I hope she knows exactly
That's a
who
good
she
point.
is.
That's a really good
And
point. Yeah.
As a beautiful black woman, you earned this role. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of her and I'm happy for her.
No, that's a good point. No,
Hey,
we're
y'all,
happy
first to
for
share
you.
one.
We know we don't know you, but we're happy for you. We are. All right. Well, we're gonna trade Rob out for Bridget real
No,
quick
I'm staying.
he's been making some comments,
staying,
y'all. I
'cause
think
I
we need
got
to get
something to
rid
say
of
to
him.
Bridget.
I know he always does. Always has something to say. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to continue to share. We'll be right back with Urban Impact Show.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. Trey, which camera should I look at?
Neither.
That one? Dang, Dewana, really? That's what we do today?
I throw that out there.
I'm still tripping off the fact that Brandy was that Brandy was on Cinderella.
She did an amazing job.
She did. Shout out to Ray J and Brandy. You're right. Shout out to Ray J and Brandy.
You still talking about Cinderella?
It just cracked me up. It cracked me up.
They just did a celebration of it because it's been what 20 years.
Yeah, that's why I remembered it.
Yeah.
Holy cow, Brandy's
they just did
that
a
old?
replay of it. Yes.
Brandy's
Wow.
in her 40s.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't even know
Nothing
that.
wrong with being in your 40s.
Or
I just want to put
50s.
that out there, okay?
Or 50s.
Just
I'm a-
saying.
I'm a
Hello,
millennial.
yeah.
I'm in
I'm
my
a millennial,
30s.
but black don't crack.
What?
You tried it. You tried it.
We look amazing.
After saying that she was in her 30s. She's after saying that she was in her 30s. It was.
Nearing 40 though.
Brittany, you have at least 3 years before you're 40. 4 years. Yeah. So, yeah, no. People are really out here 40 and up. So, welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. You never know what to expect when you, especially with me, because they have brought the professionalism of this show up so much since Shekinah. By the way, y'all, Shekinah will be returning next week, and I am super excited about the anniversary show. 4 years of us doing this show. This is the first year that we have brought on a brand new team, like an entirely new team, and so super excited. If y'all hear those grunts, that's my son to the right, grunting for whatever the reason may be. Dewana, who we got with us?
Yes, we have my friend Bridget Cravens-Neely with us.
You about to read a whole bio?
I'm not going to read a whole bio. I just had some things here because there's moments I have these memory things that happen. So if I just have it in front of me, I don't forget. Don't make any comments about that either. Okay, thank you. Okay.
She nicely checked you.
Thank you.
That was an alley hoop. I could have.
That was just-
I could have went with it, but I'm not going to do
I'm
it.
glad you're not. I'm
Thanks,
glad
Trey.
you're not. I'm so happy that Bridget is with us here today. She is currently the CEO of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central Iowa. So I was telling someone that we were going to have you on the show, and they were telling me like they were so excited because they had been a part of the program before, having a mentor and how much that meant to them. So I think that's really cool to have. It's just like, really? I'm like, yeah. So people want to learn more about it. So really excited to have you here today to talk a little bit about the organization. So I just want you to share with us a little bit about yourself and the work that you're doing with Big Brothers.
Okay. Awesome. Wonderful. First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. I got this
Cue the
email.
sound of the hand claps.
I got your email asking me to be on, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's awesome, that's great. So, and congratulations, 4 years. That's amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A little bit about me. Well, I have been in Iowa, in the Des Moines area, for about 28 years. I am married, have 3 wonderful sons. And after a 30-year insurance career, I decided it was time, and God gave me an opportunity, and I truly do credit him for giving me this opportunity to serve in a very different way. I've been serving in the community for a long time.
People don't even know the boards
People
and
don't
stuff,
know.
and
No.
the secret meetings and stuff that we've had about things. Let me tell y'all, Bridget is on fire. If there's something that she disagrees with or something she really wants to get done, she's calling those people together, and we're having that Zoom meeting, and she's going to say what needs to be said, and then she's off. She's off.
That's true. That
Yes.
is true. That is my MO. I will own it every day, all day. But just serving in different capacities in the community. This just seemed like an opportunity for me to make an impact, similar to how other women and some men have made an impact in my life. So growing up, I had several mentors. I was raised by a single mother. I was her only child. And one of the things that she did for me, which was a very, very hard decision, was she took me out of the neighborhood that she grew up in, but also the neighborhood who I had known up until I was about age 6 or 7, who had loved on me, poured into me and everything, and actually took me completely out of that neighborhood to a totally different side of town where I was the only. And so putting me into that experience taught me so many different things, but it also allowed me the opportunity to thrive and to grow in different ways. And so from a Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Iowa standpoint, and just overall for the organization, for those of you who don't know, what we are is a one-to-one mentoring organization. We focus on the one-to-one mentoring. We have 3 different programs that we have in place right now. One of those is community-based, which most people are familiar with. Then we also have our school-based, where we take elementary school students, or we bring people from the professional fields and from the professional community, and actually bring them to different schools around the area and pair them with mentors, or pair those mentors with students. One-to-one mentoring continued. And then we also have our workplace program, where we take middle schools. We have 6 employers around the company, around the city, that we are working with, who have said, hey, we don't have the ability to necessarily bring our employees to you. How about you bring them to us? So we will partner a school, and middle school, ages usually grades 6 and 7, with an employer, and they would again have that one-to-one mentoring, but there's more of that career exploration, introduction of, this is what you can do, this is who you can be, these are the options available to you. Don't be afraid of being in an office environment or a corporate environment or things like that. I got that exposure because I used to go to work with my mother all the time. So she would, as soon as I got out of school, she'd come pick me up, and then we'd go back to the office so she could finish her work. That was my exposure. And I'm thankful for that exposure today. I hated it when I was little. Oh my God, I hated it so much. Because I wanted to be at home, or hanging with my grandmother, or hanging with my cousins, or playing with my friends and stuff like that. But, and so with those 3 programs, we have the ability to reach a lot more youth in a lot of different ways. But the most important thing that we are focused on is making sure that those mentors are pouring into our young people. We have, and I think that there are some misconceptions and some myths about who Big Brothers Big Sisters is. It is not a predominantly white organization. That may have been how it started, but that is not who it is today. And so one of the, I just came back from last week meeting with our national CEO, who is the first Black CEO for Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. And he's coming from another nonprofit organization. And so his focus has really been on the bringing in the diversity to the organization, and being able to foster and introduce and allow a lot of our youth who are of color, whether Black, Latinx, Asian, doesn't matter. People of color are in Big Brothers Big Sisters. Yeah. More people of color are leading in Big Brothers Big Sisters. So, thank God for Renee Hardman, prior CEO, doing the things that she did for the time that she spent in the organization, pouring her heart. She's been affiliated with the organization for over 30 years because she was a big, and then was a board member, and then became CEO. And so she really did pave the way for me to step in. So it's been great. It's been almost 90 days. It'll be 90 days on Wednesday, and just amazing opportunity to be able to serve. Again, I keep saying that, but it's an amazing opportunity for me to be able to serve in this capacity, because it's near and dear to my heart.
I know we're getting ready to run out of time, Bridget. So I just wanted to, first of all, thank you for being willing to step into this role. Like, you know, this is not an easy thing. People don't understand how much it takes to be a CEO, right? When you're looking at fundraising, when you're looking at budgets, when you're looking at staff, when you're looking
Policies,
at the
procedures, operations, everything, technology. You don't have an IT team.
Every single step of the way. And so shout out to you for that. But also, man, just really the stuff that you've been involved in and the stuff that you're doing in our community. Thanks for that.
Yes.
You know, thank you for that. And I know a lot of times people don't see it because your name may not be the name on the flyer, or your name may not be the name on the host line, or whatever it is. But you have contributed countlessly and effortlessly to a lot of things that have happened in our community, whether people know it or not. And so shout out to you for that. And, you know, shout out to James for you all's, now, this has been a big argument since we did the show last time at Bottle and Bottega.
Yes.
Yes, and I keep telling people phonetics. You know, you know, it's all about pronunciation.
Because there's a big difference between a bodega and a bottega.
It's tega, not dega. Okay, I just wanted folks, you know, I had a bone to pick about that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted y'all to know.
I appreciate that. I'm sure James will say it. Thank you, too.
You know,
yes.
Yeah, it's tega, okay? You know, let's get it right. Brittany?
And I've known Bridget for years.
Yes.
And I know you got a lot of great skills from working in insurance. What is, you know, I guess you can end with, like, what is the biggest difference? I know for me, stepping out of corporate America and then working for, you know, a Black-owned business or, you know, different business was like night and day. You know, I feel like, I, you know, gained a lot of good experience, but just like, I feel like the work I do feels a little bit more fulfilling because it's not corporate America. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And actually, a lot of people have asked me that question is, how's that transition been?
It's a lot of unwritten rules that you've...
There's a lot of unwritten rules. I think the biggest transition for me has been, wow, I pretty much get to make the decisions. I don't have a lot of bureaucracy or a lot of levels and layers to go through to get things done, especially when those things are what's right, what's needed, and what's urgent. And so for me, I think that has been, and I'm still working through that, that's the biggest challenge, is saying, okay, Bridget, you're the one making the final call. Make the decision.
And you got to trust your instincts.
And I have to trust my instincts.
You don't want to make the bad call, you know?
Exactly. There's some big decisions that, you know, we've had, we're in the midst of right now that we've had to make. And I'm like, you know what? Gut instinct is telling me, everything in my body is telling me, every prayer is telling me and pointing me in a direction saying, this is the right way to go. Do it. Just get it done. Do it. Stay faithful, stay patient, stay diligent. So that's really been my biggest transition. You're exactly right, Brittany. The skills that I learned in, you know, and what I've been telling people here lately is, you know what, my insurance career prepared me for this role. God knew he had a plan. God knew he knew his path for me. I just had to be quiet and still and listen and trust. And the hardest part has been the trust. This go around, I was like, you know what? You haven't steered me wrong yet. So why would you start now?
Exactly.
Well, this little one's going to be a part of the program there soon. So.
Amen. 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 Bring him on.
Bridget, tell everyone how they can get in contact.
Oh, absolutely.
If they want to be a mentor, if they want to learn more about
Absolutely.
the organization, or even support, how can they get in contact?
Absolutely. The best way to reach us is at our website, which is www.bbbsia.org. There's all the information out there about who we are as an organization, our mission, our vision, our purpose, as well as opportunities to donate and opportunities to volunteer. Just scan through, click on the buttons, and it's super easy to be able to reach us. We have an amazing staff, an amazing team who will be in contact with you to get you started through the process either way. So thank you for everybody who's out there listening that already supports. Thank you for everyone who is already engaged. And to those of you who are not, we welcome you. Come by, stop by. We're over on Swanson Boulevard in Clive, which is a little bit hidden, but if you're familiar with where like Willis Auto Campus is, we're just down the road a little bit east from them.
History Farm.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you again for
Thank you.
the invitation and letting me come on and tell our story.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Bridget. This is pretty dope. Man, CEO.
I know, never thought of it.
CEO. I mean, you had to have at least one.
Here's you know, it honestly, ever since I was a little kid, I was like, I wanted to, a little girl, I should say. Ever since I was a little girl, I was like, I want to run a company. I'm going to run a company. I had this vision, didn't know what it was. I thought it was corporate America because I saw what my mother had gone through in corporate America. And I was like, I want to be the boss someday because I am not going to let that happen to my employees. And then then I thought it was Bottle and Bottega. And I'm like, no, because that's James's baby. I got to give him credit. That is James's baby. He has breathed life and nurtured that. But this is it. This is what God had for me.
They say your gift will make room for you.
Yep.
We'll be right back on the Urban Impact Show. We got a few more guests coming up. And man, go check out Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
Please.
Become a big if you have the time. But remember, if you make that commitment, it's a commitment. We ain't got time for folks to be jumping in and out of little kids' lives.
Right. It's all about creating that
Their parents have done
village.
enough for that.
It's all about creating that village.
All right, y'all. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. Press the share button.
Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. We have had a full show so far today, so super excited about all of the guests we have. And today, I have my beautiful sister next to me, Miss Courageous Fire. We're working on these hand claps to have so that people can hear them. So when we say that, oh, you got them? Oh, okay, we got the hand claps. Wonderful. So we ain't hearing them, but y'all can hear them. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
we're
both.
so excited to have you. I'm just going to read a little bit of what I have here about you, and then I want to personally say a few things, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Okay?
Sounds good,
All right.
Dwana.
So Courageous Fire is founder and social entrepreneur at Courageous Fire LLC, and a Black woman with a mission to change a dangerous narrative for Black women. She's created training that has been sponsored by the Iowa Department of Public Health for 2 consecutive years that she wants to provide to our district, really into our community and to our state. I just want to say that I have been really grateful for the work that you are doing here in our city. For those of you that may not know, Courageous writes in the Urban Experience magazine every single month on issues, and domestic violence is really near and dear to my heart. I used to work in a domestic violence shelter. I used to work with young kids who were impacted by domestic violence. I'm very sensitive to those who have gone through any issues with domestic violence, but also it's the one thing we don't talk about in our community.
That's right.
It's the one thing that when someone tells you someone's doing something to them, normally in our culture we say, well, baby, it's gonna be okay. Or maybe you just need to go pray about it. Or, you know, no, he really didn't mean that. And so because of what I've seen, I can really value and appreciate what you do. So I wanna thank you for the work that you're doing. I feel like I feel your heartbeat as you just want to get the information out there to make sure that women are well equipped, especially Black women, so they know the signs. Because sometimes we don't know the things that are very subtle. And I will have to say there were some things in my previous relationships that I went through that I was like, you're trying to make me feel like I'm a little crazy here, and I'm not. I'm really smart. And so, you know, some of those things I've realized, you know, thankful to some of the things that I've watched you, some of the things I've read in the publication too, as I just kind of reflect on things. So I just want to say thank you to you for empowering Black women in their relationships. So I'd like you just to share a little bit about yourself and really what drove you into this work.
Thank you for that, Dwana. You messed me up right there, because the impact is why I'm doing this and why I'm going so hard on it. For me, I was, you know, in that so-called storybook romance thing, the whole sweeps you off your feet type of a relationship. Right. And it was a very quick courtship, a very fast marriage, and then boom, the gloves and the mask, it all comes off, and you're just like, who is this? Right. And I think I realize for us, especially in our community, there's a lot of things that we do or that we put up with and deal with that we minimize, and we assume that it's just someone tripping. Yeah. And those tripping moments, a lot of times, are defined as domestic violence. Right. There's help for that, there's support for that, and we don't know that. We think as Black women, it's just another time I got to get big and just deal with it like we do everything else.
I think so too. It goes back to like our great grandma and our grandmas kind of maybe taking some of that abuse and kind of normalizing it, because they didn't have the independence that a lot of women have now. You know, they didn't work. They were just staying home, cooking and cleaning, and had to kind of take some of that. So then it kind of trickled down to some of the years to now us. A lot of women now are independent. We're like, no, we're not going to take that. No, that's not normal. Let's not normalize that, you know. And then sometimes we see it on TV. We see on TV people normalizing, you know. And I have a few friends that have been in like several domestic violent relationships to where it's normal for them. And I always say too, it's like I've never personally been in any, but I feel like I would say to one of my friends who was counseling is like, you don't want someone to hit you, you don't hit them either, and don't create that type of relationship and think it's normal. Because if you're going into relationship after relationship and it's the same type of things, I feel like you kind of continue to maybe carry that type of behavior into these different relationships.
What you just described, Brittany, is called dynamic resistance. Hillary, I can't remember her last name, has a book where she interviewed 40 Black women who are domestic violence survivors, different ages, different backgrounds, all this same thing. It's a thing that we do as Black women. If you're going to harm me and I don't feel like I have any way to get away from you, then what I'm going to do is find a way to resist that. So it might look like abuse from the outside, but you didn't see the backstory of how he pushed me into the physical violence, the verbal aggression, the emotional stuff that we do that people call playing games. Well, is she playing games, or is that her form of dynamic resistance that she had to develop? But yeah, the reason why I got into this is because we think of it as, the fist to the face, and there's so many different types of forms. And then the other reason, honestly, is my church background. Now, I don't do church settings anymore. But when I was raised in that, I look back on a lot of the pastors' wives. I look back on a lot of the elders and deacons' wives. And a lot of them were dealing with different types of abuse, like reproductive abuse. They were being forced to not use contraceptives because they were told that it was against God's law to prevent a child from coming into the world. So these same women, when they get older, they end up having issues with fibromyalgia or lupus or other autoimmune diseases. Why? Because of that way back then, but they didn't have the language for it. That's the other thing I want, is to give people language. Right? Where you're like, he's trying to make me feel like I'm crazy. Yeah, you do feel crazy if you don't have language for coercive control. Right. But if I know that's what he's doing, then I can say, hey, I need help because this person is coercively controlling me.
Right. No, that's exactly right. Tell us about some of the spaces that you've been in. I know you've got some things coming up to get information out there, but just talk about a little about some of the spaces you've been in, or what you have that's upcoming as well.
Okay. I'll touch really quick on some of the spaces I went into. Some were more challenging than others. And I do, by the way, have a particular type of training that is specifically for men who are influencers. It's coined from a place called acalltomen.org. And this organization is all about not trying to change so-called harmful or violent men, but trying to help the so-called good men understand the man box that they function under, and therefore condone violent behavior as normal. That was one of my most challenging spaces to go in this summer, because they were really struggling with the concept of equality in a relationship. And so it's been good to go into some of those places, being able to go into places that are I call the centers of must. There are a lot of white-owned spaces, and get them to understand how Black women's layered trauma shows up in crisis behavior. And how to stop viewing that as her being violent or aggressive, understand that it means she's afraid or threatened or nervous, and it comes out looking certain ways, teaching them how to de-escalate situations rather than add fuel to the fire, so that we can still receive services when we need them. So Unity Point in Cedar Rapids, maternal fetal medicine was a great place for me to go for that. They're one of the only places that does that all around that area. So they're going to get a lot of us, because we have a lot of poor pregnancy outcomes. So we need for those spaces to understand us, so that we're not re-traumatized while we're trying to get help.
And tell us about some of the upcoming events that you have. That I know we do have some of this information on the Urban Impact Show's Facebook page, but also wanted to give you an opportunity to share about those as well.
Yep, I'm going to do like I saw you do, Dwan. I'm going to read so I don't miss it all. So next month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we are doing an empowerment showcase this year. I'm so excited about it, because as Black people, we don't just inherit generational trauma. We also inherit generational gifts, generational healing. And so we are, as cultural people, moved by music and arts. And so there are going to be a couple of survivors that are going to share their favorite arts that they felt empowered them, and we're going to share that in an intimate setting. So we're going to be doing that. That link is out there. Empowerment Through the Arts has been going on now for 2 years. And the cohort is coming up again this fall. It is the Domestic Violence Prevention and Predatory Relationship Prevention Program for Black women. That's going to be coming out in a few weeks. So you're going to want to get signed up for that. We just piloted our youth domestic violence prevention program. And that will be coming out its first full cohort probably in this spring. And that sign up link is out. It'll be led by one of our youth who took it the first time. So I'm excited. And then it's very important that you guys know about the Centers of Must and the Centers of Trust training. Yes, the sponsorship time has come to an end, but you can still book the training. And so I have been able to get a pitch and proposal deck together. I'm trying to get all jiggy. Okay. And so instead of you having to meet with me, you can actually get the information, go through the little PowerPoint, go through the presentation, see the pricing, and be able to sign up for it right there. So these are some of the things we have going on. For anything that you just want to know as far as both organizations, the LLC and the nonprofit, go to cfirellc.com and you can either enter Courageous Access or you can enter Courageous Fire LLC.
And where are the classes held?
I'm not sure where we're going to do, because we don't have a building space, and I did that on purpose because I want to lodge us in the right places in our community. So our Empowerment Through the Arts is at Forward Consulting, and it's so beautiful. It's such a warm, healing space, and we've been doing that there now for almost a year and a half. So that's where that'll be. And it's still to be determined. So I guess I can put the call out, Black community, if you want to house an incredible space for young people to understand how to recognize healthy patterns, even through media literacy in some really cool ways, and for them to be able to come together for healthy purposes as well, you can talk to me about housing us.
Yes, that would be great. So we'll put that out there. Courage is looking for a place. So if you are willing to share your space, she would love to connect with you to learn more about that. Again, tell everyone one more time the website where they can go to find out more information.
Absolutely. You can go to cfirellc.com.
All right, and make sure you check out the October edition of the Urban Impact, I want to say Urban Impact Show because I keep saying it, Urban Experience Magazine, because they're all so related. Courageous has a great article that will be in there for the October edition, along with September's edition that will come out digitally tomorrow. So make sure to check that out. We want to thank you so much for being on the show and just sharing some more. We have to have you back though, because I think there's some deeper, I think, discussions we need to have to really get more information out to women about signs and what to do if you're in a situation. So we definitely want to have you back on the show to dig a little bit deeper.
I would love
we
that.
just kind of scratched the surface today, but I think we have more to talk about at a later time. So thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to take a quick break, and then we were going to come back with the host and give our final thoughts. So stay right there. We'll be right back with the Urban Impact Show.
Hey, today has been a great show. I am super excited. I love the way that we are doing our segments now. So that way we can break it up. And if you want to go back and watch a certain segment, please feel free to. But shout out to you all. I'll pass it to Brittany and then to DeWanna for final thoughts.
Yeah, I think today I feel like we didn't have enough time. Like Bridget
Always.
wanted to dig a little bit more in with Bridget, talk a little bit more with Courageous Fire. So it was a lot of good information today. I think we spent a lot of time on the current events just because there was so much going on this last week or so. So I'm excited to talk more about, some of these current events as the weeks goes on, and good day today.
Nope, I love these shows. I love the direction we're going in. I love the segments and kind of breaking things out. Super excited for what's to come. Looking forward to next week for the anniversary show.
Yep.
And then that's going to be a lot of fun because I will get to hear more of the backstory because I feel like I came in on the end of like year 3 or somewhere in there. So I came in towards the end, but I'm really grateful to hear the story, have Shekinah back and some of the other people that were involved with the show. So looking forward to that. And then also just a sneak peek to know that it is voting season. So we will be having candidates on the show from the first Sunday in
October.
I'm laughing because I set myself up for that one. October till the first Sunday in November. So looking forward to that. Really grateful for everything that's going on. Looking forward to talking about current events. Again, I'm going to put in this shameless plug. Watch The Crown before you knock the queen. Okay, y'all? I just want y'all to do that. I'm just going to say that. Check out The Crown. Catch her story. But this has been great. Y'all don't know, but behind the scenes, we've had kids here, and they've been doing really good for this time. So, I mean, they've done amazing. So thank you all for joining us. We are looking forward to seeing you next week. No, we love this one, though. He's not the problem. We look forward to seeing y'all next week on the Urban Impact Show. Have a great week.
Good night, everybody.